Hello guys, let's begin. So in the previous video we have covered till article 20 where we saw what were the rights which are given to the accused persons also, and for them there are safeguards in article 20. Now we will begin this video with article 21, which says right to life and personal liberty. No person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. Now, this is very important. This is very important, and Article 21 has a very wide ambit. Okay, this is the most fundamental, most basic right of all the rights which are given in the Indian Constitution. It is so wide that it can cover the other rights within itself. Also, another important feature of this Article 21 is that it is applicable to both the citizens and non-citizens of the country. Citizens of India refer to the people who are residing over here, and non-citizens mean who do not reside in India but have come from the other country to this particular land, or they have traveled, or they are on a trip to India. So for them also this article 21 is applicable. And it, see what important thing it shares, that no person has to be deprived of his life or freedom, that is personal liberty, individuality will not be snatched away from him. He will not be deprived of his life as a person, his dignity, his personal liberty will not be taken away at any cost, except, now there, see, article 19 when we did, there were some reasonable restrictions where I told you that reasonable is the key word over here. So here also nothing is given in its absolute form. Article 21, if it is ensuring that nobody is deprived of life or liberty, then it is also placing a restriction according to procedure established by law. Except this, no one can be deprived of his life. If there is a rule which says, then, and also that has to be reasonable, that law also has to be reasonable. Like if I say that a person A has committed, wait a minute, a person A has committed murder of person B, and it was so brutal that this person A is given the capital punishment. You know capital punishment, that he will be hanged up to death. जब तक उसकी डेथ नहीं हो जाती तब तक उसे फांसी पर लटकाया जाएगा. So that is what is known as capital punishment. So if A is given capital punishment, that means he is deprived of his life, right? उसकी if he dies, that means उसकी लाइफ तो चली जाएगी ना. He is deprived of his life, but it is according to procedure established by law. आपने इतना brutal murder किया एक इंसान का कि उसकी लाइफ गई, which forms rarest of rare case. इसी वजह से जो लॉ इस्टेब्लिश्ड था कि अगर रेयरेस्ट ऑफ रेयर या बहुत ही ब्रूटल सिचुएशन से मर्डर किया गया होगा या किसी की लाइफ ली गई होगी, तो जिसने किया है उसको भी कैपिटल पनिशमेंट दे सकते हैं. सो इट इज़ अ प्रोसीजर इस्टेब्लिश्ड बाय लॉ, और इस प्रोसीजर के हिसाब से दिस पर्सन ए इज़ डिप्राइव्ड ऑफ हिज लाइफ. तो यहाँ पर ये नहीं कह सकता कि आर्टिकल 21 कहता है कि कोई भी अपनी लाइफ से डिप्राइव नहीं होगा, तो मेरी लाइफ क्यों छीन रहे हो, क्योंकि यहाँ पर ये क्लॉज आ जाता है. ठीक है, this was most suitable example that I could think of. The meaning of right to life includes right to human dignity, right to basic requirements of life, right to participate in activities and expression, right to tradition, heritage and culture, and so on. Personal liberty means various rights that provide for personal liberty of a person, that is, everyone has right to do his or her will freely. The meaning of right to life and personal liberty is broad and embraces many aspects, including, see the table below. Okay, so it means that right to life, as it was written in this article, it means to maintain human dignity, as I said few minutes earlier in the beginning of this video. Right to basic requirements of life. See, if you are living a life, then you need to fulfill some basic needs, right? So you can access to those basic requirements to live your life with dignity, to participate in activities, to express or think whatever you feel like, to follow any religion, any culture, because that's also again a part of your life. Nobody can force you to practice a particular religion or a particular culture, because that will violate, or that will infringe upon your right to human dignity. Your dignity will be reduced if you are oppressed by the other person, or by the government, or by any other individual also. Personal liberty means that also it means that everyone has the right to think whatever he feels like, to express whatever he feels like, and to do whatever he wishes to do. And this whole expression has various aspects, as I told you that this is a very broad ambit, right? So over here, see this thing. Opponents of right to life use judge in Wisconsin to stop legal protection of children and women. Texas is next. Without the right to life, all other rights are meaningless. Human dignity, basic necessities of life, engaging in activities and expression, tradition, heritage, culture, privacy, pollution-free environment. I told you in any of the previous video, I guess, that this is a wide ambit, that day to day while interpreting this right, various rights through the judgments of Supreme Court or High Courts, various rights have come under the ambit of right to life and personal liberty. The recent example is of right to usage of internet, which this judgment was given by the Kerala High Court, wherein this right to internet was considered to be a part of Article 21, because if you want to enjoy basic necessities of life, for that, and you want to participate in activities, and you want to express something, expression is done on social medias, which is through internet. You can participate in various activities, you can get to basic necessities of life through right to internet. So that was taken under the ambit of this article. So various judgments have evolved, and let it be of Supreme Court or High Court, but through various judgments this ambit has been broadened even more. Now, second part of this article describes how one's right to life and personal liberty be taken away. As we saw over here, this clause, after except procedure established by law, this is the second part of article which is being talked about over here. A person can be deprived of his or her right to life or personal liberty only by procedure established by law. This means that any law that limits or takes away one's right to life and personal liberty must contain a procedure that is fair and reasonable and not arbitrary. As I told you, Article 19 places some reasonable restrictions on right to freedom, so the restrictions which are there on this right also need to be reasonable. Reasonable is the key word. It has to be fair, reasonable, and if it is reasonable, then obviously not arbitrary. For example, Indian Penal Code describes death penalty for certain crimes. This is the same example that I am giving you. This involves established procedures like death penalty is awarded only in rarest of rare cases. There should not be delay in executing the prisoner waiting in death row. Also, IPC allows for appeal where the wait period is longer than 5 years. अगर एक पर्सन को डेथ पेनल्टी प्रिस्क्राइब्ड है, लेकिन उसको 5 साल ज़्यादा हो गए, उसको अभी तक फांसी पे लटकाया ही नहीं गया, तो अपील हो सकती है. ठीक है, ये डिले बहुत ज़्यादा हुआ है 5 साल का. Of course, it's a different debate whether death penalty should be abolished. That is a different thing altogether. We will not discuss it over here. One thing more, now people would think of what is this rarest of rare cases. I don't know whether you have heard in news or not, or have you read in newspapers or not, but there was a case wherein a man murdered his wife. First he murdered. After that, he cut the body into pieces, into small pieces, and baked in tandoor, and then threw that on the streets. Now this is rarest of care. Rare. You have already killed the person, and now you are cutting the body into small pieces, and you are treating it as a different thing altogether. So that is one example of rarest of rare cases. There may be more that have happened till now. Death penalty was also given in that Nirbhaya case recently. Right to education is the next one, which is Article 21 subclause A. Now see, this capital A, wherever it is given, it means that this right has been inserted by an amendment. The state shall provide free and compulsory education to all children of age of 6 to 14 years in such manner as the state may by law determine. This provides for right to education to all between the age of 6 and 14 years and obligates state to implement this. Means it is the duty. Obligate means it's the duty of the state, each and every state of India or Union Territory of India, to implement this right to education within its own area, its own region, and to ensure that each and every child of the state between the age group of 6 to 14 is getting elementary education. That is compulsory for each and every student, because there is a goal of India that nobody will be illiterate. To ensure that elementary education is to be provided to each and every child of the country compulsorily. Then this is right to education is every child's fundamental right. Okay. Prior to 2002, Indian Constitution considered elementary education for children between age 6 and 14 as a policy goal provision in DPSPs. A more detailed discussion on topic of DPSPs covered in a subsequent part of this unit. Briefly put, DPSP are not enforceable in a court of law as they are aspirational goals to be achieved over a period of time. Now remember, DPSPs, the most important difference between DPSP and fundamental right is that fundamental rights are enforced in a court of law. That's why if somebody infringes or if somebody violates any of your fundamental right, then you can, with the help of writ jurisdiction, you can appeal to the High Court or the Supreme Court of India for violation of your fundamental right. So fundamental rights can be enforced in a court of law, but DPSPs cannot be enforced in any court of law of India, because DPSP means, in simpler terms, that means goals. There are some aims or goals which are set up that we are planning कि इस goal को हम इस period में इस particular year तक fulfill कर लेंगे. वैसा ही एक गोल था right to education का prior 2002, because this amendment came in and after 2002. So before that it was a goal, and if it was a goal which the government has planned to achieve by a certain period of time, then that was put under this DPSP. But now it is a fundamental right of every child, and so it is under Article 21. And since it is inserted by an amendment, so we have written capital A. In 1992, the Supreme Court affirmed that depriving one from education amounts to depriving one's right to life. This meant that elementary education was raised to the status of fundamental right from that of a policy goal, and hence enforceable. Now, if Supreme Court is saying, as I have said, that with the judgments of Supreme Court and High Courts of India, there are some cases, or there are some rights which have come under the ambit of Article 21. So same was with this education criteria also. Supreme Court said that it interpreted that if you are depriving a particular child of his right to education, that means you are depriving his dignity as a human being, because he is illiterate. At some or the other point of life, he will be subjected to some sort of trauma or insult that from anybody. It can be any person who will insult that person, that you are not educated enough to read something. So elementary education ensures that आपको अल्फ़ाबेट्स पढ़ना, आपको इंग्लिश के वर्ड्स कुछ मतलब कुछ नॉलेज है. एलिमेंट्री का मतलब है बेसिक नॉलेज आपको है, राइट. सो एलिमेंट्री एजुकेशन हर बच्चे को होनी चाहिए, और अगर आप वो उससे छीन रहे हो, दैट मीन्स आप उससे राइट टू लाइफ, उसके जीने का अधिकार छीन रहे हैं. इसीलिए अब तक एलिमेंट्री एजुकेशन जो एक DPSP था वो एक फंडामेंटल राइट बन गया. क्यों? क्योंकि राइट टू लाइफ एक फंडामेंटल राइट है, और जैसे ही DPSP से वो एक फंडामेंटल राइट का स्टेटस मिल गया तो वो इन्फोर्सेबल हो गया. Accordingly, in 2002, Article 21A providing right to elementary education was created as a fundamental right. Implementing this right requires states' financial and budgetary expenditures of enormous amount to meet the demand of a high illiteracy rate, which so far has been inadequate. ऑब्वियसली बहुत सारे बच्चे होंगे एक पर्टिकुलर स्टेट में, उन सबको पढ़ाना है. नाउ दिस इज़ फ्री एलिमेंट्री एजुकेशन विच हैज़ टू बी प्रोवाइडेड. रिमेंबर, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स जो होते हैं या कॉलेजेस होते हैं, सी इफ़ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एलिमेंट्री एजुकेशन, सो दैट इज़ प्रोवाइडेड फ्री टू एवरी चाइल्ड. गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स में बुक्स, बैग्स, सॉक्स, शूज़, यूनिफॉर्म, एवरीथिंग इज़ प्रोवाइडेड टू द चाइल्ड फॉर फ्री. इवन ब्रेक जो होती है, लंच जो होता है, उसमें खाना भी उनको स्कूल की तरफ से प्रोवाइड किया जाता है. सो फॉर देम एवरीथिंग इज़ फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट. what they have to do is they just have to approach the school, they just have to reach school and study whatever the teacher is teaching over there, right? This is what the children have to do. They don't have to buy anything from their own pockets. उनके पॉकेट पर कोई प्रेशर नहीं पड़ेगा, लेकिन सारा फाइनेंशियल जो एक्सपेंडिचर है वो किसको करना है? स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को. तो यहाँ पर यू कैन इमेजिन कितना बड़ा स्टेट है, उसमें कितने बच्चे होंगे जिनको फ्री एलिमेंट्री एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करनी है. तो सारा फाइनेंशियल बर्डन जो है वो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट पर होता है. ये और इससे दिस एक्ट वाज पास टू इंश्योर कि इलिटरेसी रेट जो इतना ज़्यादा है वो थोड़ा कम हो जाए, मतलब इलिटरेट पर्सन ज़्यादा हो जाए और इलिटरेट कम हो या बिल्कुल भी ना हो इंडिया में. ठीक है, आई होप थिंग्स आर गेटिंग क्लियर. कोई प्रॉब्लम को रिमूव करने के लिए ही हम कोई लेजिस्लेशन फ्रेम करते हैं. यहाँ पर प्रॉब्लम थी कि बहुत ज़्यादा इलिटरेट लोग थे, तो उस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए हम इस अमेंडमेंट एक्ट के साथ आए. राइट टू एलिमेंट्री एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड किया हर बच्चे को, जिसमें स्टेट गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स होते हैं, उस स्कूल में फ्री एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करी जाती है. और क्योंकि फ्री है चिल्ड्रन के लिए, तो एक्सपेंडिचर किसका होगा? स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का. Okay, now Article 22, that is protection against arrest and detention. Now see, the word itself suggests protection against arrest and detention. अरेस्ट होने से और डिटेंशन मतलब प्रिजनमेंट में रखने से कोई प्रोटेक्शन प्रोवाइड करी जा रही है, तो वो क्या है? दैट इज़ गिवन इन आर्टिकल 22. नाउ यू आर एज यू आर रीडिंग इट स्टेप बाय स्टेप, आपको दिख रहा होगा कि अगर कोई क्राइम भी किया है, क्रिमिनल को भी कुछ सेफगार्ड्स प्रोवाइड किए गए हैं जो हमने पढ़ा आर्टिकल 20 में. और अगर आप अरेस्ट से बचना चाहते हैं तो उसके लिए भी सेफगार्ड्स हैं. सो हर चीज़ को प्रिवेंट करने के लिए, हर चीज़ को मतलब अगर कोई चीज़ एब्सोल्यूट दी है तो उसको रिस्ट्रिक्ट भी कर रहे हैं ताकि उसका गलत फ़ायदा ना उठाया जा सके. और क्रिमिनल्स को भी इंडिया का एक डिग्निफाइड पर्सन ट्रीट करते हुए उसको भी कुछ सेफगार्ड्स प्रोवाइड किए जा रहे हैं. अरेस्ट से बचने के लिए कुछ सेफगार्ड्स प्रोवाइड किए जा रहे हैं. सो आई जस्ट वॉन्ट टू से कि आप देख सकते हैं कि किस तरीके से कितना इलेबोरेटेड और कितना सही ढंग से हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को फ्रेम किया गया है. हर चीज़ प्रॉब्लम को ध्यान में रखते हुए उसका सल्यूशन प्रोवाइड करना और हर जगह के रीजनेबल रिस्ट्रिक्शंस पुट करना. कुछ भी चीज़ एब्सोल्यूट नहीं प्रोवाइड की गई, सेफगार्ड्स प्रोवाइड किए गए हैं. हर एक आदमी को या वुमन को एज ए डिग्निफाइड पर्सन देखा गया है, और इसीलिए ये सेफगार्ड्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मेकर्स ने लिखे हैं. ठीक है. So Article 22 will be taken up in the next video. This is all for this video.